Um, I want to welcome everybody to the webinar. Thank you all for coming, and we appreciate David Dalton and team from the Think Shop telling how we should communicate during these turbulent times. But first of all, I want to thank Lisa Grout, the Senior HR Advisor for HR Elements. They've been great partners as we have been doing these webinars now for a week or two. So if you have any needs in the HR arena, and it seems like people have a lot these days, I know that Tina Taylor, the founder, and Lisa and the rest of the folks there have been very busy advising a lot of their clients. So you need to talk to them if you need any advice, and we appreciate their support. Also look for our upcoming webinars coming up in the next week or so. We'll be among them. We'll be having Kenton County Judge Executive Chris Knockelman talking about what Kenton County is doing to support businesses and to support people at large during these tough times. So without further ado, I'll let Lisa take it away and introduce our panelists. And again, thanks to the Think Shop for being a part of this today.
All right, well, thank you, Pat. Good morning, everybody. Just a few housekeeping items as we get started. So just a reminder, we are using the webinar feature with Zoom, so all attendees are automatically muted and video is disabled. So if you have questions, and we hope you do as we kind of move throughout, feel free to submit those via the Q&A button or via the chat feature in the bottom panel of your Zoom screen. So as the moderator, I'll be kind of keeping an eye on that, and we'll be sure to get your questions asked from our panel. So as Pat said, my name is Lisa Grout. I'm with HR Elements, and we thank Pat and everybody at the Covington Business Council for working with us with these. So for today's discussion, we are grateful to have several guests with us. So we have David Dalton, owner and principal of the Think Shop and Red Hot Promotions. We also have Rob Suduth, creative director of the Think Shop, and then Maria Conroy, project coordinator of the Think Shop. So just a little bit of background about them. So the Think Shop is a brand elevation agency focusing on brand development, design, and advertising. Red Hot Promotions is a promotional products and branded apparel marketing company. So both the Think Shop and Red Hot Promotions are rooted in small to medium business brand development and support. So they're headquartered in Newport and founded in 2003. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to David and his team. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks everybody for being here, and thanks for inviting us. This is a great series that you guys are putting on, and we appreciate it. So appreciate being a part of it. Yeah, so today's topic, obviously communication and how to kind of navigate that during these times. And I think one of the biggest points that we want to make today is really just staying connected. The one thing that businesses really are going to have to focus on and try very hard to do now is to remain connected to not only their clients, but their employees, and then even looking at prospects and business down the road. So remaining connected, remaining visible is really what we have been trying to help businesses with. We're doing it for ourselves. We're trying to several ideas and initiatives in the works for us to remain visible. And I have a just kind of a presentation that I'm happy to share with the group after this. I didn't want to present on screen because, you know, everybody's looking at presentations on screen these days, and I think face-to-face is better. So yeah, so some of the ways that you can remain connected are the obvious ones. Email. You know, people are doing email newsletters. Email is overwhelming at the moment in some cases, but definitely a way to stay connected. Social media is huge from every aspect right now, for entertainment, for business communications, for promotion. So I think social media is obviously one of the key ones. Online meetings, as we're doing now, you know, there are plenty of those out there. Host one, be a part of one, pay attention to what's going on as far as online meetings go in your community. That's a great way to remain connected. You can do things such as blogging on your website if you have that feature, or if you don't have that feature, maybe it's time to think about one. So You know, you can do videos, you can post videos to social, you can post videos that you have recorded on your website. Things like that are the obvious ideas that I think people can stay connected. The key and the main takeaway is use all of these tools to stay out there, because going silent right now is kind of the worst thing that you can do for any small business, or any business that is. So connect and stay connected with your community, meaning the industry. So, you know, that's the easy one. You know, everybody remembers that, you know, you have to stay connected with your business partners and your industry. But definitely stay in tune with the groups that you're a part of, the associations, groups like the CBC, you know, make sure and remain active in all of those areas and those groups. Be a part of the discussions, be a part of the group discussions, maybe things that you didn't used to do. Now it's time to be a part of those even more. But also remember your local, your neighborhood communities. Everybody's working from home, so, you know, reach out to those neighborhood groups, the associations that you might live near or be a part of, and make sure that you look at those as opportunities to remain connected and keep your business visible in those groups as well. And I think overall, you know, when you are communicating with folks now, everybody is overwhelmed with a lot of information, whether it be business lending or insurance or HR situations. If you're a business that's not necessarily in those industries, keep it simple and stay focused on what you do, and your message should be how you can help, or how you can still remain active to your clients and those that might use your services. So stay connected and stay visible as much as you possibly can. Also, you know, not every business is busy. Some are very busy. Some are, there's some downtime. So people don't have to drive to work right now. Let's use that as a bonus. You know, some people are getting an extra hour in their day just because they don't have to get in the car and drive somewhere. So maximize this downtime. Use this downtime for things that you've been putting off. If you don't have a marketing plan, take the time to create one. Write the content that you need. Look at your website. Make those updates that you've been thinking about that you haven't had time to do because you're running the business. So keep all of those things in mind, and use your downtime for things like creating content about your business. You plan next year's events. You know, this will go away. We'll get through this, and there will be things to plan for. So get ahead of anything that you can, and really maximize your downtime. You know, part of our business, as Lisa mentioned, is the red hot promotion side, which is apparel. So even though some businesses cash might be tight right now and spending is not an option, you know, think about your staff apparel, or your any of the promotions that you might do in that respect. Get those things planned out, get everything in order. And when cash flow is not an issue and business is a little bit back to normal, then you'll be ready to go with those things. So really maximizing any extra time you have right now. The other thing is prospect. You know, you think it's, you know, maybe not time to prospect because business isn't going on, but this is actually a really good time to prospect, and you're just going to have to do it differently. You know, prospect for people that are active, businesses that are thriving right now, because there are a lot of them. There's a lot of businesses that are doing quite well. You know, it's easy to look at the businesses that aren't, and I think you look beyond that, look at the ones that are doing well now, and reach out to them. If you can help them, if your business is something that they may use, reach out to them and let them know that you're working and this is how you can help. So, you know, make a list. Something else you can do if you've got some extra time right now, make a list of those folks that you hope to prospect or hope to reach out to after this is all behind us, and you know, really fine tune that list and figure out how you can help these businesses that you've been thinking about but maybe haven't had time to reach out to. You can also, one of the big keys to communicating right now, update your contact list, your mail list, your email list, phone list, clean all of that up and be ready to go, either with businesses that you can contact now or businesses that you can contact after our situation is behind us. The Think Shop is very focused on branding and brand development and brand implementation. So one of the things from a communication aspect that concerns us right now is to keep your brand in focus. You have to remain organized and structured in your messaging. Keep your business on brand even now with the things that you're doing. I have seen a lot of businesses out there in their communications, be it social or web or emails even, that look slightly panicked, and some of their messaging that's coming out is off brand, and it's clear that they're concerned and scrambling for business, as all of us are. But remain consistent and take the time to make sure that what you're putting out is your brand, it is your focus, it is what you are good at, and what you do, your core values, etc., all remain intact. It's easy to throw out messages and throw things out there that because you need business now and you want people to respond, but just take the time to make sure everything that you're putting out is exactly what you want to put out. Fine tune, if you're a smaller business and you don't necessarily have a robust brand or identity package, take the time now to really refine that and look at what you have, look at the way you communicate, and sharpen that, and really try to use this time for bettering yourself. And then, the one big takeaway as far as your brand goes, continue to do the things that you would do as much as possible before the pandemic has affected us. So if you market it in a certain way, continue to do that, and continue to try to reach out to your clients, your prospects, and you can do things right now that are free. There's plenty of free option. You can use social media, you can use your website, you can blog, as I mentioned earlier. So there are a lot of things out there that will help you keep your brand in focus. Just remember to stay true to your brand and your communications. So social media, obviously a really hot topic right now. And we absolutely suggest use it to your benefit, and try to really maximize what you're doing on social. It's easy to get lost in social. There's so much out there. So, stay the course. This is a crazy time, but keep your marketing strategies, especially with social and digital, keep them intact and stay the course. If something doesn't make sense right now, then pull that out and do everything else that you can to stay on track with your brand and your brand marketing plan. Get creative and look at what's happening. We have some clients that we work with that are really being creative in not only the processes and the services that they're offering right now, but the way that they're talking about it and promoting it on social. We work with a brewery that has shifted to the hand sanitizer. So that's an example of a company that has adapted during this time and changed their communication to from creating spirits to creating something that is necessary. So look for those opportunities and for your business, and try to talk about and promote those opportunities. Be sensitive to your messaging. Make sure that if you have a PR team, make sure that they are sensitive, which they would be, but make sure that your marketing message is matching what they're telling you or what they're creating. So you don't want to put something out that is trying to recruit business that's not sensitive to the times right now. So just pay attention to that. The other thing in social, it's super easy for especially a struggling small business to be down right now. Mentally, it's taxing. day-to-day is rough, but be positive. And if you're going to put a post out, put a positive post out, put a positive message. Remember, this is your brand even through this. So stay focused on that and put out the best message that you can. People will be very receptive to it. So, during one of the shifting over to the Red Hot Promotions side of business and talking about communications, no matter when good times or bad times, everybody loves swag, right? You can't keep it down. Everybody loves a good t-shirt or a good fun promotional product. So some of the ways that you can communicate with those items right now, you can do direct mail pieces to your clients. If you're a business that actually has a physical location or a home address for a client, you could do direct mail with things like that. You can do postcards, you can do thank yous, you can do a promotion if you're a food business that is offering delivery or carry out, make sure you're reaching out to that mail list, and you can use promotional products to do that as well. You can thank your employees. If you've been thinking about doing a nice jacket or something for everybody to wear to keep the team morale high, you can do that now, and you have their home addresses, so you can mail it to them. So think about your employees during this time too. And the promotional products are always something that people are well received. Things like desk items are very popular right now. The health and safety items, things that are relevant. There's plenty of activity around the promotional products industry that you can use as businesses to not only help promote you, but thank your employees and clients. So some of the things that you can do now, being conscious of time. Lisa, how long do you want to leave open for questions? About 10 minutes?
5 to 10 minutes, sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah, so I'll just watch in time here. So some of the marketing steps that you can take now, all of the things that we talked about, with social and digital and blogging and content, those are all key. If you don't have a website, if you're a business that doesn't have a website, absolutely consider putting one together, whether it's a simple splash page with just basic information. We offer a website that we call an elevator site. It's a super simple, very affordable site that gets basic content, and it's scalable, so you can add on to it as you need more content. Shoppable landing pages are a new thing if you offer a product for sale. It's basically a splash site that offers an e-commerce type situation. If you do have a website now, I spoke earlier about making sure that it is as good as it possibly can be. So now's the time to really kind of fine tune that. Update your social. If your social is something that is lacking in certain areas, now's the time to fine tune that. Create a Facebook group. If your industry is something that is you can connect with a lot of people, create a group around your business and create discussion areas in there so that everybody can talk and share ideas and figure out what to do on a day-to-day together. So you can do things like meet the staff on social. If your staff's all at home, as most are. Maybe you create a day on social media, whatever the platform is that you choose, where you can do a little chat session and you can introduce your staff to your clients, things like that. So, and then in closing, help is within reach for sure. Businesses of all sizes, there are plenty of opportunities for all of us. LinkedIn is great. It's a great network right now to really be active in. The chambers groups, Kentucky, Ohio, wherever you might be located. I'm assuming most everybody here is in Kentucky, but the chamber groups are great. Groups like the CBC, any business groups, networking groups that you're a part of, just lean on them for help. Yeah, these groups were designed to help businesses. So don't be afraid to ask right now. It's key. we have a group, different happenings that we offer. We have entertaining / networking / educational event that we call Elevated Mornings. There are things like that that are out there in regular and weekly activities. So, and if there's anything that we can do from the Think Shop perspective for any small businesses or businesses in the area, feel free to reach out to us, set up a meeting. It does not cost a thing to get our team to have a call with you and really kind of evaluate your situation. If there's something that we can do to help with your communication right now, please reach out and let us know.
Great, great. So, I think a lot of great information there. And I think it's great for, businesses to think about the ways to keep people connected, both, outside their organization and inside. I know we've had clients who have organized, using these technology mediums like Zoom and Teams meetings to do like afternoon happy hours virtually. So, it's just thinking about those opportunities, how you can use technology to bring people together and still help them feel connected. When you think about, the clients that you've worked with, what are the best methods to keep, external constituents or followers connected to that business? Like, what are the top mediums that you would recommend for people to consider?
Well, so every business is unique. Every industry is unique. I think when it comes to social, as I mentioned, stick to your plan. Stay true to what you always do. If you can, keep your campaigns, your planning as true to what you would do in a regular situation. So changing now just because everything else has changed isn't necessarily a good thing. I think you have to adapt. You have to make a pivot decision on how that your messages fit now, but stay true to what you would normally do.
Hey, Lisa, can I interject for a minute?
Yeah.
A lot of great, excellent points that you brought up. And one that I want to emphasize, you talked about prospecting and your thought that a lot of people would think that this is a terrible time to prospect because people are trying to figure out how their businesses are going to survive. But I was talking to a leading professional advisor the other day for a major accounting firm, and he just talked about the fact that my schedule has been turned upside down. Normally, I would be booked with appointments for weeks, but now I have a lot more disposable time to talk to people. And I just think that's a great idea, because people that you would have a hard time connecting with in the old normal, their schedules are just totally turned upside down. They've got a lot more available time than what they had before. So I really second that part about prospecting. That's a great idea. I did want to ask you one question that I think is a challenge that a lot of us have in organizations like ours, and really yours too. How much you don't want to be silent, but you don't want to communicate too much. And I see a lot of communication from organizations now that say virtually nothing, that it's like you said, they're almost like, panicking. So how do we provide enough communication and stay in front of our customers and clients and prospects without trying too hard?
Yeah, and I'm seeing the same thing, and that it's obvious when those messages come through. They stand out, and the reason they stand out is because you can tell that the company has shifted from their normal messaging, their normal communication. They're concerned, and the knee-jerk reaction is, well, if I do more, it'll be better. So to answer your question, Pat, there is a balance. We're all overwhelmed with emails and newsletters and everything else right now. My inbox has never been more full than it is right now. So again, stay the course. If you communicated via social or newsletters, monthly, weekly, quarterly, stay that course. If there's a message that you can add that's relevant and that people will find value, or entertainment, occasionally entertaining messages are well received also. Add those in, sprinkle those in, but definitely don't continue to throw things out just because you feel like you need to be more active.
Great. What's your guys' take on, I've seen a lot of organizations post messages about how their business is responding to the COVID-19 situation. I'm getting emails about that. I feel it's, kind of bombarding from all directions. Do you guys have a take on, if a response like that is appropriate?
Yeah, so I know exactly what you're talking about. We're here to help. This is how we're doing it type messages. I think that business is business, and everybody is trying to keep moving. And if your business is something that is thriving right now, or something, or you have a product that is relevant right now, people know that. If your communication is regular and consistent going into this, people understand what you do, and you're going to continue to do it. So I don't think those messages are necessary. If you have adapted your manufacturing or changed a product offering, yeah, absolutely let them know that. If you started making one item and now you make a different item because there's a need, then sure, that's a communication worth having. But if it's the same item that you've always offered, and it's something that people would order or would see available anyway, that's, I think, redundant. It's not necessary. And you're right, people are overwhelming with those right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to chime in on that, I think the key, as David said earlier, is to be sensitive to your audience as well. And don't, I've seen some things that almost, I know the intention is to show the adaptation to life now, but it almost comes across as bragging. So again, to be sensitive to that. Not everybody's going to be able to pivot as quickly as others. So
Great points. All right. Well, I know we're about at time. Again, for those who are attending, feel free to type in a chat or Q&A question if you have it. And otherwise, we'll be kind of wrapping up here. So any other questions, Pat?
I don't think so. I thought that was all really good. Rob, we haven't heard from you. Did you have anything to add, from the creative side, and what your customers are saying, and what kind of feedback you're getting at this time?
Yeah, no, thanks, Pat. And yeah, I think David covered it. I think that with everything that's happening right now, we're kind of all in this together. So I think trying to focus on where we're at, after this is, once we get back to normal, what's going to happen, and, focusing on your business, in the long run. So trying to, stay as calm and work as normal as you possibly can, but also, just looking at the future of your business, because, once this is over, we're going to try to get back to, normal as quick as we can. And I think that one thing to keep in focus is, once the gates open back up, I think that there's going to be, a flood, at least on our side, as far as marketing and advertising, because once businesses open back up, and once people get back to that normal way of life, they're really going to crave, getting out of their houses and, getting back to, doing, normal things. And, that goes the same to be, considered with business operations. So on our end, just trying to focus and stay the course, and looking at the future, and also, just looking at ways that you can market your business once people do start diving back in and hitting the ground running. So advertising and marketing your business once that happens, I think is a good thing to kind of take into consideration and look at.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, from a strategic marketing standpoint and promotion, companies will start making decisions when they say it's safe for us to begin to go back to work again. I think we'll still have social distancing and things like that going on. But I think from a strategic standpoint, I think, as you intimated, there will be kind of a pent-up demand to start, broadcasting your message and trying to get out there as much as you can, and get face-to-face in front of customers, as well as using these other tools to help from a marketing promotional standpoint.
Yeah,
Yep.
one thing I wanted to add too to Rob. Rob started to touch on something. It's easy right now to cut marketing out. That's expenses that businesses just can't afford. In some cases. One of the things and the projects that Rob works on primarily day to day are some of the larger branding projects or the larger design projects. Even at a bigger corporate level, it's easy to, and we're hearing this, that you know what, we're going to hold off on this right now. And our advice and our response to those is, let's keep moving. If it's the money, we can pause that, but you need to keep moving while the momentum's there on any projects that you have in the works. If it's a branding or design project, the budget piece of it we can figure out. But you lose momentum, and then at the end of this, when it's time to go again, you're doing double work. Everybody's going to be super busy, and things won't be as efficient. So right now is actually a really good time to keep those projects going. And if you have a project you've been thinking about, now's the time to really to do it, because companies like ours, there are many of them in Covington and Northern Kentucky, probably have some capacity right now. And you're going to get a really, really focused group, and your project's going to turn out really well. And if you can get anybody to kind of pause on the billing piece of it to help with your budgeting, keep those projects moving. And that's what we're offering as well too, just to keep things moving. So.
That's great. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for your time today. Helpful information, valuable information. I'm sure the Covington Business Council will be sending out some follow-up materials. So look for that in your email. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. So with that, we'll go ahead and conclude. So everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks.
Bye.